Today on Sawdust and More, I'm sticking with the magnet theme. Really getting into these magnets. Still don't know much about them other than they'll pinch your finger and you're not supposed to get them close to a pacemaker. But this time, we made a little door frame. Still the same idea. We've got the magnet in the top of the cross, magnet in the top of the beam, and the two are pulling against each other, or pulling to each other, I guess you would say. All I know is it looks pretty cool. So stick around, I'll show you how I made it. Let's make some sawdust.
First, let's cut the base down. We're going to make that 10 inches by 5 3/4. Then we're going to grab our router table and we're going to put our favorite 45-degree chamfer on there.
It always surprises me how much difference putting a chamfered edge makes a piece look. It gives it that high-end detailed appearance.
Then I'm going to go ahead and find the center marks. This is going to be the center marks for my supporting post and for the fishing line, just for later reference. We'll measure out our support post to 12-inch long and then put a 45-degree angle on the top ends. Notice I'm using a stop block here to ensure that I cut both posts the same size. Here we have all of our main pieces to put this together. But first, we're going to glue in some diagonal braces. These diagonal braces are 2.5 inches long, and I just put a dab of wood glue on them, and this helps hold the 90-degree angle together. Once those dry, I'll tilt it up and give it a once over just to envision how it's going to look once I get it all finished. But if you want to build this same design, I'm going to leave the dimensions at the end of this video. And you'll also need the magnet, so let's hop on over to Amazon, and I've got the magnet loaded up in the cart here so you can see. It's a neodymium magnet. It's a 1/2 inch in diameter and it is 3/8 deep. These are super strong magnets and they come in a pack of 16. And if you'll check in the description, you'll see where I got them from. Next, let's find where our magnet's going to live. So I'm going to tilt this up so I can show you a little better, but we're going to center this in between these two diagonal braces where they end, and we'll put it right in the center of this beam. I'm using the same magnets as before since they came in a 16 pack, so we got plenty of magnets left, even probably some for another project, but we're going to use our same 1/2 inch Forstner bit as well, and then we're going to drill that 3/8 inches deep. Then do a little test fit with your magnets just to make sure you have the correct depth, because you want that to be flush. Then you can put your favorite CA glue in there. It doesn't take much. This next step is kind of critical because you're only going to get one shot at this. As you're pushing the magnet in, some of the super glue may squirt out. It may have an air pocket in it, but you got one shot at this. Make it count. We're going to center up our cross and we're going to drill that same 1/2 inch hole in the top of it, and we're going to still use our same exact Forstner bit. So as you can tell, this Forstner bit's getting a little dull, so we're going to swap out and put us a fresh one in there. I think I drilled on some metal or something with it, but be sure after you get the hole drilled, you double check to make sure that your magnet depth is going to work. As you can tell, it needs just a little bit more. Also, keep in mind that once you put that magnet in there, it's going to be a little difficult to get out. So I'm trying to use the rest of these magnets to help me pull it out, but it was a chore getting this magnet back out. And then we're going to repeat the same process we did with the beam once we can wrangle the magnet here. But it's the same process. We're going to put a little bit of CA glue in the hole, and then we're going to insert the magnet as flush as we possibly can. And hopefully that's before the CA glue sets up. With the magnets inserted in both the beam and the cross, you can now give this a little test run, see how it looks. I'll drill the pilot hole in the base where the post will attach, then drill my pilot hole in the bottom of the post. You know, we've come too far in this project now to have the final screw split our wood. So let's do a test with this screw, make sure it's the right size, and we'll continue on with our depth. I've drilled a countersunk hole in the bottom of the base, and now I'm going to attach the first post. Now, using my Craig multi-measuring tool, I'm going to make sure everything is the same spacing from front to back, and then we'll insert the last screw. And then we'll grab our cross and gauge where our hole for the fishing line will need to be drilled through the base. This hole can be as small as you can make it, but it needs to be centered directly beneath the magnet in the upper beam. Be sure not to drill through the scrap board into your table saw. To finish up the cross, I've been putting these little small eyelets in the bottom of it. One of the viewers in my last video suggested trying to use a magnet in the bottom, so I'll be trying that next video. I'll drill into the bottom of the cross, that way I can insert that eyelet a little bit inset to the cross so you don't see it. I do like to drill a little pilot hole because these eyelets are made of very thin material and they will snap off, and there's nothing like trying to get the broken part of that eyelet out of the bottom of that cross. Final steps is to drill a countersunk hole in the bottom where the fishing string is going to come through. I'll tie a washer to that fishing string, that way that it can inset up into the base where it doesn't scratch the tabletop and it holds the cross from pulling through. I've got the fishing string tied to the bottom of the cross and I've already threaded it through the base. And now we're ready for the final task of gauging how much string is too much string. This is a very trying process. You'll have to do this multiple times to figure out how much string you need before the cross actually snaps to the top of the beam. Once I've gauged that distance, I'll take a Sharpie marker and I'll put just a little black mark on my string, and that's where I'll tie my washer, and that's going to keep the string from pulling through the base because this string keeps a constant distance between the two magnets to give it the illusion that it's floating.
Alright guys, this is another finished project and probably my most favorite that we've made on the channel so far. I love the floating cross look, and these magnets really make it look like it's floating with the fishing string just holding it down. The door frame just brings it together, I think, and I thank you for coming along on this journey with us. And until I see you next time, don't forget to make more sawdust.